Ever since the release of Star Wars The Last Jedi by writer and director Rian Johnson, a lot of fans around the world, the Star Wars community wants change within the sequel trilogy with Episode 9. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, when we look at Episode 9, we do know one thing, that both J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio are trying their very hardest at making this film stand out from both Episodes 7 and 8, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And I've expressed this many times before in the past, that I really do believe that this is going to mimic Revenge of the Sith, where we look at Episode 9 as the better movie of the sequel trilogy apart from the other two films. So with that being said, a lot of people have been talking about George Lucas coming back into the Star Wars franchise. There's a big rumor right now that he may be a part of the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars movie, though I believe that he's only going to be partially involved if the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie truly is still in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm. However, what's really interesting is, you guys may have heard about this lightly these past couple of months or so, that George Lucas would be working on Star Wars Episode 9. Now, what's interesting about all of this is that it's only going to be for one scene during the final month of filming in February of 2019, next year, and will all have to do with one of the major legacy characters, most likely Luke Skywalker, Leia, or Lando Calrissian. Now, George Lucas actually did something very similar in a sense with Solo: A Star Wars Story, and he will be doing the same exact thing here with Episode 9, except to a larger point here, because he's actually trying to do something. JJ is really trying to do something very, very right, and I guess, he reached out to George Lucas, and he's trying to help him out and all that, so that's what we have been hearing these past couple of months or so, that the big whole entire situation here with Episode 9 is that it has to be on point. It really does have to resonate with a lot of fans out there in order for it to be successful, and in order to do that, apparently George Lucas is actually going to come on board to direct one scene in Star Wars Episode 9 that will most likely revolve around Luke Skywalker, Leia, or Lando Calrissian. It's about one of the legacy characters during the final month of filming, which is, of course, going to be February of 2019. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we heard these rumors about 3 months ago that George Lucas would actually have, a scene that he would be working on in Episode 9 with Luke Skywalker. And I believe it matches directly up with this, that he's actually going to be directing a scene in February of 2019 with J.J. Abrams for one of the legacy characters. I believe that is indeed going to be Luke Skywalker himself. Now, we do know that Mark Hamill is going to begin shooting a lot of his major scenes this December, leading all the way into February, so a lot of Hamill's major scenes will be shot within that time frame. We already know that Carrie Fisher, what else can George Lucas really do with that? That's all unused footage from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I think it pretty much just dwindles down to both Lando and Luke Skywalker. So do you guys think it's a good idea that George Lucas is, apparently involved with Episode 9? Do you think that's a good idea by Disney and Lucasfilm? Does it show a sign of desperation, or do you think it's a genuine thing that they are doing for the fans? Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that they do realize the feedback from The Last Jedi. I believe that they do realize that a lot of people were very unhappy about the movie, and that a lot of the hardcore Star Wars fans, which see these movies, 4, 5, 6 times, are the people that are no longer seeing these movies that many times in, within a week or 2 weeks or so. So with that being said, it seems like they're really trying to go out of their way in order to get get the fans back into the movie theaters and into the seats. And what better way to do this than George Lucas, right? Now, I'm all on board for this. I think it's a great idea nonetheless. George coming back for Episode 9, even if it's a really small part, a really small scene that he will be directing, that is okay in my book. As far as the rumors right now, the big rumors about him being involved with the Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars movie, I'm not so quite sure about that. I can't really imagine him directing a whole Star Wars movie. It seems like that's exactly why he sold the rights over to Disney, and they took over Lucasfilm, and that's why he did that. Does he regret doing that? I kind of got the sense that he does regret doing that. There's been numerous interviews where he kind of implied that he regrets, selling it over to Disney and Lucasfilm, because Kathleen Kennedy actually pretty much, trusted George, or should I say George Lucas trusted Kathleen Kennedy to really take care of the characters like Luke Skywalker. And, you know, a lot of fans, I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with me, you know, we saw a big flip side of the coin with that. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.